ladies and gentlemen, is everyone where they wish to be?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So to
Yes,
recap,
sir.
we currently have
Yes,
Channel
sir.
Divinity, Champion Challenge, so she cannot move more than 30 feet away from you, willingly. Forced movement does not count. Is anyone attempting to hide from where they're at now? Some of you going further into the forest.
I'll hide.
All right.
Why not?
I'll do it too.
I'm gonna like stand on the wolf and go up in a tree, right? And then I'm gonna find a sturdy branch to hide and shoot, right?
Okay. Top of the turn order, we have the drow. She puts away the tuning fork that she had in her hand as a portal behind her glows with white sparks coming from all around. Begins to look at all of you. Juliet's does a 18 hit.
Yeah, that's my armor class.
All right. That will be 6 force damage as she puts this tuning fork away that she had been using, and now her chains wrapped around her arms light up as she throws her arm out, and a beam of purple energy just slams you in the chest. Takes her second arm. Boros does a 22 hit.
I assume it does.
7 force damage as a second beam comes and slams you in the chest too. That is her turn. We come to the wolves. The wolves are going to surround her.
God, this music's so intense.
2 of the dire wolves crit, the other 2 do not hit.
Nice.
Ooh.
Jivets and Zerum that hit and got some good damage. And next up we have Orsk.
Like stand on this branch and kind of use the base of the tree to steady his shot.
All right, with steady aim, so you're taking advantage on that then?
Yeah.
With the advantage, that is only a 13, unfortunately. That will not hit.
I outstretch my hand and cast blindness and deafness.
Okay, and is that a con save from her?
It is.
Oh, it's 22.
I'm gonna use a bonus action to give myself Shalenik, my special stick. I'm gonna back up.
Juliet, she is just staring right at you.
Can I get a wisdom save from her? She's gonna pass. That's okay. I was gonna try to command her.
As you yell at her, just approach, she just keeps staring directly into your eyes and does not move.
I'm gonna flip her off with my bonus action, please.
Easily enough.
Beautiful. That is my turn.
Hopefully this works. I'm going to run all the way back here.
Jesus Christ.
And so I'm gonna run down this way and counterclockwise spin as my left foot kicks out. She has to make a strength save.
It's an 11.
Yes.
Good enough.
My foot explodes right in front of her face and knocks her
Oh, shit.
20 feet towards Juliet and proned.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Oh,
So-
boy.
And that was 21 bludgeoning damage on top of that.
Mm-hmm. That's my turn.
Jin just books it through the forest, slides before what seems to be a small, what maybe once was a creek running through here. Counterclockwise, Spartan fire kick straight past Desi, who's just like, huh? As she just gets knocked back. Orst, now she's like a way easier shot right down below you.
Hell yeah.
And with that, we come to Boros.
I'm going to enter the last rage I got for the day. And unlike all the other rages where it's just a snake forming around my waist, now it's just cloaked in shadow, and all that's visible for me is my 2 glowing eyes as I just approach slowly.
All right. A
So-
14 will not hit as your sword comes down. The same dark purple energy that's always happened just boom, stops your sword as it shimmers across her body.
That's my turn.
I'm gonna raise my hand and start incanting something. She has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Nice.
Oh
Let's
shit.
Go! Okay,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
Move my hand to just go hashapa, and you see like a transparent, drippy black butterfly kind of appear next to her head, and it goes into her ear. And
What?
she takes psychic damage at the end of her turn.
This is so cool.
So she can't do any
Okay.
action, any reaction, and at the end of my
Good
turn.
to know. Top of the turn order then. We have her. She is incapacitated, so no actions or reactions.
Oh, and she takes psychic
And-
damage, so that's only 6.
That is a natural 16 plus her
Oh.
wisdom of 1. That is a 17.
Hey, you basically wasted her turn.
Yeah, that's good.
That's true. That's true.
Helpful.
Okay, she made it though, so she's out
Yep,
of it.
at the end of its turn. Yep. You do notice at the end of her turn, her chains begin to glow brighter as you see a necklace that was around her neck, made out of these same like spiked chains, but not as sharply spiked. And you hear kind of like a battle horn.
Oh
And
shit.
you
Oh,
see
shit.
coming out of the portal.
Oh what?
Oh, Minotaur?
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
2 large minotaurs just come out of the portal and immediately start looking to smash the dire wolves. So they will take their turn immediately after hers then. With a
Oh
12.
boy.
Jivet will get hit, unfortunately. With this great axe, this minotaur just slams down and kind of slices off the back thigh muscle. And the minotaurs will begin to move. Kai, one comes over to you, and then Jen,
Doesn't that-
you get noticed in the back. 2 get hits. That is the minotaur's turn. It does come to the dire wolves. Both try and surround one of them and come to your aid, Kai and Jen. They will all miss, even with advantage with pack tactics.
Damn. I'm gonna forego my attack and I'm gonna use Commander Strike to give you a reaction to attack this bitch, right?
Oh,
If you
yes.
hit, you add a d6 to your damage. Boros, remember what this bitch did to you. Don't give her the satisfaction of living through this night.
Just comes down without any reaction.
24 will hit. Mercedes.
I want to try to blind this minotaur that's in front of Kai.
That's a 9.
I think we're just gonna stay right here. This is the safest place for me to be right now.
Kai, you notice this big minotaur was like readying his great axe to come down on you, and you see his eyes just blacken over. Layer of mold just like growing out of his eye socket. He's like
That's
trying to wipe it
foul.
off, and it just keeps regrowing. back.
I
like
love
The nose
it.
a little.
Like
Ugh.
Resident Evil boss.
So I'm gonna move here. She's still prone.
Okay.
Hit her with my longsword. How about a crit?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Money will most
Hey.
definitely hit.
Beautiful. You'll never guess what I'm gonna couple that with.
Maybe a
Yes.
smite, possibly.
It just feels like the right time to use a
Just-
divine
it
smite.
just-
So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
the Still
33.
numbers.
Ooh, that's some
33.
big damage.
Juliet with
I
the
told you
crits.
I needed one of those like first hit crits again. And then I'm gonna stand over here.
Boros, right after you just lay into her with your great sword, you see Juliet just kind of walk up with a smirk. This sword begin glowing with this kind of white, bright energy, just lighting up the darkness in this forest. And you see her smash it down into the drow, and she lets out this cry of pain as you actually see this dark purple and black energy that's been surrounding her kind of flickers for a second. Jen?
I'm going to disengage over here. I'm gonna light my chest on fire. That's my turn.
So as a bright white light comes out from the forest next to this drow, on the complete other side of this fight, you see this bright yellowish and red energy as Jin's chest alights. Boros.
Hit her again.
As the sword just like goes into her shoulder, blood pouring down out of her mouth, she lets out a small grin and a smile as this purple energy surrounds her, and poof, she poofs out, but just a moment before reappearing over here. Standing up this time, blood pouring down out of her mouth, just staring at you now, Boros.
I approach.
I approach.
Oh yeah, you still have movement.
Yes.
All
That is my turn.
right, Kai.
I'll move a little bit this way. Gonna cast the same spell again. Make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Say
Go
natural
ahead.
4.
Damn.
She can't do shit. I'll move further this way, and then I'm good.
On her turn, she is incapacitated, cannot take any reactions or actions. So the d12 is rolled from Kai's end, and then I roll the save. That's a natural 3.
11.
Just 11.
These butterflies just fly into her head. She's like clearly trying to shake it out and just can't focus on anything that's going on. And the Minotaur back here does take notice, and he, not caring about the direwolves anymore, is going to move next to her and provoke attacks of opportunity. That's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 2, and that's a 1. These direwolves are great, guys. The other one, let me make a check for him since he is blinded. Hearing the one he's supposed to protect is in distress, he's going to start trying to move, but he goes the wrong way because he's blinded. And he also takes attacks of opportunity from the other 2 direwolves. Hey, that's better. That's a 16, that's a 19, that's an 8, and that's a 1. Desi just gets a small little bite in as this Minotaur just starts walking the other way. Direwolves' turns. They surround. The other 2 surround. So this one by the portal, Zerum and Jivit do get some hits in, and a good amount of damage. And then Desi gets one more hit in on the blinded one. Orsk.
So Orsk is going to fire off a poison-tipped arrow. Add that sweet sneak attack bonus in. And then Orsk is going to get down from the tree and get right beside Juliet.
Mercedes.
I'll go ahead and help Boros.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Healing Word. So 4 points of healing damage. Hope it helps.
Healing damage.
I'll cast Firebolt. No.
Double nat ones. Yikes.
Damn, friend.
The end of your turn, you hear this chain around her neck once again. Vroom. Slightly different,
dear
higher
God.
pitch noise this time. You begin to see another differently dressed drow figure than you've seen before. Still studded leather, but pretty much like head to toe, studded veil, glowing dark purple, maybe even a bit of light pink here and there, energy on many daggers and shriekens along her belt and down like a strap on her chest. Juliet?
You know what's gonna happen if she goes through that portal, right?
We're
can't
never
if you
going to
do
get the
that.
dagger
gonna
for it.
We need to watch anime together. Don't go.
Throw the arrow at her.
Sorry, that one made me choke on my milk.
What you doing?
I don't fucking know, Aaron.
TikTok.
I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna... Can I steal the pouch that she put the tuning fork in?
Okay, you are contesting the friend that just came out of the portal. Let's go ahead and make a
Wait.
dexterity check.
Can it be athletics? I want to take the whole pouch.
Clearly, you guys can see, like, Juliet is flustered. Not knowing what to do, you just force your hand out into this, like, small little pouch that is on her chest, and you see the friend realize and attempt to reach forward and just misses your hand as you just rip this pouch off, and inside you can feel something metallic as you see the faces of both drow change to that of a more very serious tone now. So with that being Juliet's turn, full cloaked in black studded leather armor drow begins. You can just barely see the pale hands under some gloves and the pale face peeking out from this mask. You can feel the sense of urgency and desperation now as you've ripped this pouch off. The main drow you've been fighting before, just still incapacitated, dealing with this butterfly flying around in her head. This new drow take one of these throwing stars glowing off her chest, and Juliet, you feel for a second she's about to stab it into you, but she reaches her arm around and stabs it into her friend and shoves her through the portal.
Whoa!
And as she does, the portal begins to collapse and begins to shut in on itself as the friend steps in front of you, Juliet. Boros, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Is this a spell?
Yes, it is.
You
All right.
better not turn on us.
12.
12 will not save, unfortunately. You begin to see as this drow blocks Juliet physically and just cranks her head to you, Boros. Gas and smoke just wisping out from under her eyes. Juliet, you see Boros's eyes just glaze over as Boros, within your mind, you begin seeing what you fear most. The event back in your hometown and what happened there replays in your mind. And then you begin to see you attacking your friends, viciously and ruthlessly ripping out their throats, consuming their guts. You are frightened for the duration.
I'm moving up, and I'm going to throw a shuriken at this drow.
Will hit. That's natural 18. She will save.
This fight is not in our favor. Choose your battles wisely. And I walk back.
Boros, you are frightened currently.
I'm going to reckless. I miss.
Damn.
10 will not hit. I need you to make another wisdom saving throw for me. That will not save. At the end of your turn, as you attempt to hit her, you notice just these intrusive visions just cutting off what you can see of the real world. It's starting to fade. What's real, what's not. How long has this been happening? You have no idea. And for just a moment, your eyes lock with hers again. You take 21 psychic damage.
Ow! Oh my
As
god!
These visions start to intrude. As you lock eyes with her, you see yourself turning to Mercedes, who has seemingly appeared next to you within your vision, and just stabbing her with your greatsword. It just hurts your mind that you could have done this.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my longbow, but I'm gonna hold my action. If either the drow or Juliet goes into the portal.
Okay, and who are you going to
You're
be
gonna shoot
firing
me?
I'll go in the portal!
So you're gonna shoot me on my way in there, just to be clear.
at?
Yeah, with the intention of like making them go prone.
Top of the turn order, the portal now just a fraction of the size it used to be. You assume that possibly one could force their way through, but it's unclear. The Minotaurs and Direwolves still attacking each other ruthlessly. Both Minotaurs taking a little bit of damage from a couple of hits, though you see the Minotaur up top here next to the portal gets another hit onto Jivet, and you hear this yelp again as this great axe comes through. Jivet is not looking good. With that, Orsk.
Alright, Orsk is going to move up 20 feet right over here, and he's going to look to Juliet and be like, Juliet, the bag! Give me the bag!
I'm gonna give him the bag.
Alright, and I'm
Alright.
going to spin a dash to go where everyone else is going.
Portal?
No, not through the
Oh.
portal. Right there, and I'm going to spin a bonus action for my cunning action to do a dash. Get to about right there.
Mercedes, you are up.
I'm gonna go ahead and heal Boros. Ignore the necrotic. I'll go ahead and use a chill touch this time. Just drow. 1 necrotic damage.
1 necrotic. Alright, as this spectral hand appears behind this drow and just kind of gives a little tap on the shoulder, you see her just kind of flinch for a second. Juliet, this portal is very small.
How far through the portal is the other drow?
You would assume not very far, but you cannot see.
Cool.
Please don't leave me.
As soon as she flinches, I'm gonna duck under her, reach through the portal, and try to grapple the bitch in the portal.
Oh!
Okay, so for the record, just so you know what the situation looks like, this portal is hovering a few feet off the ground and is closing like centered onto where it was. So you can reach through, but it's unknown if you could reach the ground past and what you feel. So do
Very
you still want to
tall.
do this?
It's the one in
Yeah.
a million shot. Go for it.
And I have to.
Roll a d20 for me, just straight.
Right,
An
six is a good number.
athletics check
Mhm.
at disadvantage. You reach out through this portal, unknown what's past. You feel deathly cold air, and your arm feels like if it stays in here for much longer, it might just get frozen solid. And you're wailing your arm around, and for a moment you grab on to a drow. Your studded leather wrist, and you try to pull, and the arm just yanks away from you, and you can't feel her anymore.
Fine. I will pull my arm out and
Okay.
not go all the way through the portal.
Juliet pulls her arm back out as the portal closes and disappears to a bunch of white sparks. The direwolves make quick work of the minotaurs. You see this drow surrounded by people that outmatch her. She takes one of her daggers and spins it across. And Boros looks at you as she snaps her finger. Horrible, horrible visions fade. As you're just trying to catch your breath, you notice the smirk go across her face. Well, now you have to find her to get back what you've lost. And stabs down her throat and pulls the dagger all the way down her chest. Starting at the top of her head down, her body just starts disintegrating into ash and blows away with the wind. Within the next short while, stillness and quiet fall upon this forest.
What does she mean? What she took from me? I just want to live a normal life. I don't want any of this.
They made a portal with this tuning fork, right? As Orsk takes it out, right?
This is a small pouch, and does appear to be specifically designed to hold this tuning fork. There is nothing else inside. You guys doing anything with it in particular, or just visually examining it?
I could make an Arcana check to see what I can learn from it.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. You know what these are used for. It's not a secret that if used correctly in the right magical hands, tuning forks can be used in coordination with other items to open up portals to other planes. You know these forks are usually tuned to one and only one plane, depending on the sound they make. You can attempt to tap it against something if you'd like to try and figure that out. But you can tell, like, this tuning fork, when you touch it, it's metal. It's cold outside, but it almost gives you, like, kind of like a freezer burn almost. You hold it in your bare hand.
Kai would actually walk up to the Minotaurs and pick away their body to get anything.
They seem to have been specially designed simply as either distractions, as support. They are in very basic cloth and hide with a single great axe, and there is nothing else on their bodies.
Would their, like, horns be worth anything? Or material-wise?
Go ahead and roll a medicine check for me.
I'm going to grab some
Yeah.
Minotaur blood, see if I can make a potion of strength or something out of it.
That's a good point.
Alright.
Get as much as you can, Jen, and I'll help you synthesize that. I have a
Alright.
flask I can spare, so you can have at least 2.
Alright, thank you.
Natural 20.
Hey.
All right, I'll say between the two, they don't have the best dental hygiene, so probably like 10 teeth, all 4 hooves, and 4 horns.
In the process, can I just kind of like hack full leg, like thigh and everything, and give it to the puppers?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna look at the dogs and be like, your treat. And I'm gonna use presentation and make it the juiciest bacon taste. And I think I could also at the same time make it really warm for in case the meat's cold. And give it to the dogs.
So you do notice Jivet is not looking great. Bleeding very heavily, kind of plops down in front of this meal that you put in front of them, and they all kind of like pitch in and try to help get him over the other 3 to get some food.
Yes.
Mercedes, do you have an extra heal?
I can give 1 to Boros and 1 to this direwolf who's hurt.
Give it to him. Worry about me.
You
Alright,
look pretty bad, buddy. I think you need a little.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Please just give it to him.
I'm gonna lay hands on Boros
Hey.
and give him my last 10.
Thank you. Guess we make our way back to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Head back to your camp and begin to settle down. Is there anything in particular you're asking of Dolly Bakek?
First off,
Excuse me.
what she could possibly even trying to get from me?
She will help heal some of your wounds some more. 14 points of healing to the entire group.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dolly Bakek. Ask you a question.
Yes, of course. Still coming from a wolf head.
What were they after? They mentioned they took something from me.
Are you willing to let me probe into your mind?
Yes, I am. Just know that I try to be a good person when I can.
Sit you down next to a small fire that they've created within this camp. Some of the other goblins around have tied up one of the drows that you captured against a tree, just not caring about what's going on. Dolly Bakek will sit you down, Boros, and take 3 fingers from each hand and around your eyes and begin to breathe deeply as you feel some sort of energy transferring from her to you and then back again. Do you resist?
I am fully consenting to this.
About probably a minute or 2 passes. The rest of you see Dolly Bakek's face get more and more this kind of face of worry as she seems to be probing deeper and deeper into your mind, Boros, as you see flashes of visions and memories. You appear to be able to see what she's kind of sifting through, like the files in your head of sorts. Her face just gets more and more worried as she keeps her hands on you, but kind of leans further away in a hesitant sort of way. Before finally, after about a minute or 2, takes her hands away and just... Oh my.
Be honest,
I'm troubled,
please.
my child, in ways that I cannot help.
Could you at least tell me in what ways they are, so I can find someone that can help? Be as
I believe
honest
I
as you
know
can.
someone who can help, but it would mean a big favor that I must call in. But I do believe it is worth it. At least some of this group has survived, directly thanks to your actions. I must go prepare to call upon great power. Please come with me, my child.
Very well. I will come along with you.
Will lead you into their tent, sets up a small array of different symbols, kind of a celestial star almost, kind of turned in different directions. While this is happening, what is everyone else doing?
I would like to talk to that drow.
I would also follow Juliet.
Oh yeah, we do have a drow captured. Good.
We
I'm
do.
gonna
We do
follow
have a
suit.
drow captured.
Yeah, same here, right?
Crouch down in front of this drow.
Looks up at you and spits, looks like maybe a tooth and some extra blood.
This one has attitude. Can it break his fingers?
No.
Can I break his toes?
No. I don't think that would be effective. And I'm going to say this all in Elvish. There are 2 options. 1, you can tell me what they took from my friend, and I will give you a swift death. The other option is, if you don't tell me, the moment you are dying, in that last moment of pain and fear, no, you think you're not afraid, but when you are staring death in the face, you will be. I'm going to grab your face very delicately and cast Spare the Dying over and over, and keep you in that last moment as long as I can, and it's going to feel like an eternity for you. Those are your 2 options. Which would you like to take?
Roll an intimidation check. Kind of smirk on his face as you had started talking, and as you continue on longer and longer, it just fades into kind of a neutral and then kind of a slightly terrified face as he kind of just backs away from you. He's tied up against a tree, but he just like presses himself into the tree.
I'm just gonna take my hand and just like put it on his cheek and just sort of hold it against his jaw.
He'll try to like lean away from it as much
No.
as he can, but he can't get away.
What did they take?
I don't know. We're not told things. I was just here to protect her.
Her who? What's her name?
Madam? That's all I was told to call her. Madam. She's the boss. She gives the rules. I've known her for like 12 hours. We get moved around a lot. I'm not important. Look, I was told if I say anything, I'll turn into ash.
How did you find us?
She followed you. I don't know. We just tagged along with her. They don't tell us things, okay? Like, I was taken from my home in the middle of the night, told I would be fighting for the greater good, and now I'm here. Like,
where's your
I had a
home?
girlfriend.
Oh, that's so sad.
Too bad you never
Where's
get
your
to
home?
see her again.
I was born in the Underdark. What do you think? Nothsburg, okay? A small place. It's not inconsequential.
And what does Madam use the tuning fork for? How does it work?
Yeah, but it's enchanted. So all she has to do is like say a word and
Which word?
the portal opens up to her. I don't know. Like,
You've heard her say it. You were there. What
look,
was it?
I was told if I ever touched the fork, it would blow up, okay, and kill me. Only she can use it, okay? Like, they put an enchantment on it, and it is hers. It was a gift from her patron.
Who's the
I don't
patron?
want to die. I want to go.
Right.
I
What-
don't know. I don't even know her name. What do you think I'm gonna know her patron's name?
What's this war about?
I don't know. Our freedom?
I'm gonna
Alright,
insight check
how about-
if she doesn't know that drow's name.
Okay, go ahead. Head down to Whispers for me.
Oh.
Fucking
You get with a 12 because he is garbage at deception, apparently. He is putting on an act. He very much knows, specifically about the name, but you also pick up on the fact that, like, he is faking this emotion.
All right. And do I see that same thing on their neck as well?
Yes. Yes, you do.
All right.
Juliet's gonna look to Jin and see if he has anything he wants to ask.
I'm gonna walk up to the drow. I'm gonna step on their leg. And I'm gonna start burning my foot.
No, please, no.
Give me a name.
I don't know the name.
While this is all happening real quick, Kai's just gonna play haunting jazz music.
I literally spit juice on my computer. God damn it, Kai. Fuck.
Sorry! Mute, like, to help with the ambiance, right?
This is the comic relief we needed after such a heavy session.
Next time Jin and I decide to interrogate and torture somebody, we're not bringing the Chuckle Squad with us.
All right. Coming back into it, as Jen continues to sear and almost like cook this drow's leg just straight through the leather. It just continues like, please, I don't know anything.
Insight
I
check
stomp.
him.
I stomp on its knee.
Can I also
Okay.
insight check Jin while we're at it?
Can I join
You
this
roll an
insight?
check onto Jen or onto the drow, Kai?
For me to the drow.
The drow, okay. Ariel and Kai, go ahead and roll for the drow. Jen, on the other hand, what are you insight checking for Jen?
He's pushing it a little further than I personally would have thought Jin would. So I just want to make sure he's doing, like, vibe check him. Is he doing okay? Well, the force for the drow. Look, you let me insight check a cave.
all
Roll
comes
a second
back around.
one. That's up for Swift to answer, I'll say.
Alright, I'll whisper it to her.
I want to change my answer.
Are we going to whispers or are you messaging me?
No, I'll just message you.
Because Juliet believes that this poor kid who just wants to go back to his girlfriend is telling the truth. I'm gonna take my hand off of his face, and stand up and be like, "Hey, Jen, I think that's enough."
He did say he steps down harder before
True, yeah.
you checked. So go ahead and
Correct.
roll a d10 for me, Jen.
Does my insight do anything?
Whispers also.
Oh, it's my turn, bitches! Eyes just kind of quietly close your eyes, and she whispers something in Sylvan. She says, "This is to help you. Help me find what this drow is hiding."
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Natural 20!
As Juliet tries to peer into what Jen is doing, Jen's fiery foot steps further into this drow's leg, and you guys actually hear a small crack as he lets out this cry in pain. You guys have attracted the attention of the surviving goblins in the area, and they're all kind of like peering out from behind different trees and tents, clearly keeping away from this, but very curious as to what's going on. Kai, with a natural 20, probably a couple feet above this drow's head, opening begins to fold in from this tree, and you see an arm, almost honey in color, with this kind of white and yellow sparkles, comes out of this tree, taps you slightly on the head, Kai. Now gain the ability, momentarily through this entity, to cast Zone of Truth. You all do see this same kind of like palish honey yellow-like color begins to glow around her as you hear in your mind, Kai, "This should help you, my child. Get us the information we seek." This hand goes back into the tree, taps this drow on the head as the same energy begins to glow around the drow. And the hand disappears and the tree recloses.
I step back.
Would you like to use it, Kai?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
These words come into your head and you mutter this verbal incantation in Sylvan. And your hand just kind of instinctively draws this symbol and you just kind of tap it as it floats in the air. Those of you that are magically inclined can guess is that he has no chance to succeed on this save, given the intervention that has happened.
Like those who don't know what's going on, Kai's gonna turn over and just start saying, "Hashanawada," like in Sylvan, and then realize, oh shit. And then go, he can't lie if you guys don't know what's going on, so you could just tell him whatever you want. It only lasts for 10 minutes!
Oh,
Oh,
right.
oh.
Madam, you called her earlier. What's her actual name?
You see him now, knowing that the spell is in effect, like bite his tongue, and his demeanor vastly changes from a scared kid to a well-trained operative. And he just looks away from you. And as he does, this kind of honey-colored aura that is around him begins to enclose and begins to squeeze the drow's body. As he like winces in pain and he turns back towards you. Rhea Ashglade. And as he says the name, this energy kind of releases its grip on him.
What did she take?
That I truly don't know. Much of the information within this organization is need to know. And I didn't need to know.
Where does the portal go? The one that she escaped through. The one the tuning fork makes.
Most likely to the abyss. To the lowest layers that border the hells.
What is the word that activates a tuning fork?
If I was to say it, and I am not her, it would explode.
If you say the word, it'll explode?
It is cursed, so that within a certain radius, if anyone attempts to speak its command word, it will destroy itself very violently.
What if you say the word in a different language?
My hands. That I could do. But good luck translating it. It is from a very ancient dialect of Undercommon. The word you are looking for translates to Brisbane in Common.
Who is Boros' employer?
That cursed being is not employed by anyone except his own.
What is the Black Snake?
His creator's way of trying to make the next god, the next
God damn it.
weapon to defeat all.
And who is his creator?
I don't know. More of his own kind, as far as I know. We were tipped off to his possible power by someone.
What's the name of your organization?
We do not have a name. We are simply hired hands for a much larger battle to come.
Who are your bosses? And they take you from your homes. I don't know if that's true.
I was not taken from my home, but many have been for the effort of the war. And my bosses, as you say, well, Rhea was my boss. She gave me the information I needed to know, and she got her information from whoever employs her, which I believe to be a powerful being of some sort within the abyss. I know no more than that. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Can I stab him before he disappears? I don't
Yeah,
want him to get the
sure.
satisfaction.
He's tied up, so with ease, you take your sword and you plunge it into his chest, and as your sword breaks this yellowish barrier that has been surrounding him, you see it kind of dissipates it. Blood pours out of his mouth, and from head to toe, he begins disintegrating into ash.
I did tell him I would kill him nicely if he talked.
Meanwhile, Boros, you are in this tent as you've heard many different sounds of pain and yelling coming from outside. Dali Bakek has stayed focused at the task at hand and has laid out multiple different symbols of this kind of same star with a circle around it begin to glow white. And you can feel kind of like this radiant energy coming off of them. She reaches out and takes your hand and stands you up and begins to lead you outside the tent.
All right.
As this drow had just faded away to everyone outside, you turn towards the tents and begin to see this large, bright, glowing light inside Dali Bakek's hand as she tosses this holy symbol onto the ground about 10 feet away, just outside of camp, as it begins to glow white. And you begin to see this figure start to appear in this very fine tan of a woman. Long, free-flowing gray hair and a long white dress with kind of a gray overcoat draped over, and a large brass staff glowing at her side with a snake wrapped around the top. Roll a history check, Boros. You recognize this as Illustrial Silverhand, once Lady of Silvery Moon, your hometown. You see as Dali Bakek bows in respect and kind of gives a side glance for the rest of you. Everyone can see this. She towers above you, Boros, 9-10 feet tall. She looks down at you. Many a favor have been called in with my mother. What can I do for you, my children?
I am deeply troubled. There are things about me I don't know, and I need someone that can help me.
I cannot give you information that would compromise your beliefs, child. I can only tell you that you are okay. You are you and you are whole. You must embrace what is inside of you, or you will forever be at war with yourself.
I worry that if I do, I'm going to hurt the people I care about. I already have.
Do you trust the people around you? Those whom you've decided to travel with?
Yes, I have.
Then use their trust to trust yourself. Reach out to what is inside you and harness it, and learn to control it.
I will.
Visit home once in a while. The city misses you.
And I miss it. Deeply.
She looks over at Dolly Bakek. My mother bids you good tidings that you have been successful in your missions. She wishes you to return to her court soon, as she could use your assistance in matters coming up. As Dolly Bakek just stays in a bow and kind of gives a nod.
Can I ask you one last thing?
Yes, child.
Does Alec and his girl forgive me? And if not, what can I do to get their forgiveness?
Speak with them, just as you would to yourself and your friends. One cannot seek forgiveness if you do not speak.
It hurts, but I will.
I must return. My sisters await my presence. Good day, children. She begins to glow even brighter white as her form fades away, and you see the symbol that was thrown on the ground by Dolly Bakek cracks and breaks in half as she stands up. I hope that was helpful to you.
It was. I understand you gave a lot for it, and I deeply appreciate it.
My true patron owed me one, I guess.
If there's anything I can do to repay you, I will more than happily do it.
Follow through with what Lady Illustrial said. Do as she asks and as she wishes. It's the best thing you could do for me.
I will. Thank
We
you.
must all get some sleep. I will stay up for the rest of the morning and keep watch over our camp. As you guys are heading to bed, the sun pretty much already beginning to rise over the horizon. You guys will know you will get a late start to the day once again, as you sleep through the morning uninterrupted.